Hey guys, Mike with Chassis Parts Online. Working on this 83 today. I had these frame boxes made. Here's part of one. This is the inside part where the crossmember bolts to the same 6 holes as the 65 to 79 crossmember. Same center section. And this is the 83 frame box. Now you can see it's wider at the front because of the way that 83 frame goes out at the front. This would be forward and this side would be out. So this would be the right side. This is up. These are the top holes. Bottom holes are there. So what I was trying to figure out is how to make these inside holes and how to put these on the inside of the frame and make them line up without a template. Okay, so I figured that the best way to do that is to take this inside panel off, drill pilot holes through where I want the outside to be, and then set this box inside the frame, line it up with the bottom holes and these holes here, these 3 holes on the outside, and run these pilot holes from the outside, from the inside out. I mean, that way I know they're the same. So then the question becomes, well, how does the customer do this when they get it in the prototype version? So what I'll do is I'll make a template drawing. I'll make a CAD drawing. This will be my 0. I'll make a CAD drawing with these holes. Basically, it'll be a small pilot hole, like an 1/8 inch pilot hole, and it'll have these holes in half. So you just line that up on the side of the frame, put a bolt through it, and then run a drill through your 6 pilot holes, and then run a 1/2 inch bit through it, and you'll have your holes where it need to be. So my next step today is to drill the big holes in this, but I got to cut this off first. Once I have that holes in the frame, I can put these boxes back together. I'll have to bevel these edges so I can weld this, and then I got to run some pieces all the way through here as what we would call a crush sleeve. It'll actually be a piece of solid rod, 1/2 inch solid rod welded on both sides. The other thing I'm going to have to do when I got these apart is to put nuts inside, which will be these 1/2-13 weld nuts. These are made for welding, and they'll have the 1/2 inch 1/13 threads inside there. That's basically 1/2 inch coarse thread for you that don't know. 1/13. So that's what I will do with that. Making one of these is not really that hard. The problem is making it to where you can have a production version where a customer can take it out of the box, drill the holes in the frame, and put it together, and it go together like it's supposed to. That's the hard part. I mean, anybody can make a box. Anybody can weld in a plate and drop one in. But I mean, that's what I could have done on this. I could have put a flat plate in there, welded in the frame, drop my crossmember in it, and be done. That would solve it for that one customer, but that doesn't solve it for the retail production customer who wants a 100% bolt-in product. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a 100% bolt-in setup with this and this. Next step is to drill the holes. One of the other things we need to see today, this is the crossmember that's going in this truck. Of course, it's sitting outside rusting, so I had to clean it up and put some etching primer on it. This is self-etching metal primer. It's rattle can stuff, but it's made to go directly over bare metal. Then the customer has the choice of sanding it and painting right over it, or having it sandblasted, which you'd had to do anyway, had it powder coated or painted, whatever you want to do. This is what the crossmember looks like in primer. For those that don't know, I started MIG welding all these because it's such a pain in the ass to try to TIG weld stuff when all the plates are hot rolled plate, because all the impurities come to the surface, which is it's not good when you're trying to TIG weld. So some of this is TIG welded. The end plates are TIG welded on. There's a tab right there that comes through. I melt that with a TIG welder to hold those, and I TIG weld the motor mount stands on before I put on all the filler plates. So I'll continue to do that, but that's where we are with the crossmember. Let's get back to the frame boxes. Okay, so I started drilling this one already with 1/2 inch on the drill press, but then I realized it's probably easier for me to go ahead and bolt this in and run an 1/8 inch drill bit through these holes through the outside of the frame, and then drill the frame from the outside. So I'm going to stick this on there with some bolts through these three holes here, and then I could drill those on these 2 big holes that I've already drilled here. I'll have to take my big punch, center punch out there, centering punch actually I think it's called, and line those up and drill those. So let's go do that. Looks like we got a bunch of leaves out here in the parking lot this morning. I think I'll take the leaf blower there and blow all this off. Okay, that looks better. Still looks like Sanford and Son here in my fucking house. Oh, I forgot I got to bend this side of the frame. Got to get a hammer out here and knock that high spot down, and I got to bend that right there. So I'll bring the other one out here, cut it apart, and bring it out here and do that one. Okay, so I used that hammer and that piece of random DOM tube to knock these high spots down. I bent this up with a crescent wrench I had right there, and then I had to beat on the bottom of this to bring this up a little bit. But this is that side box. You see the bottom holes line up, top hole lines up, the other holes haven't been drilled yet. Now that one's not going to be used. I've got an X showing that won't be used because it's not on the other side. But this in here, these holes line up. I don't know how good they're going to line up once I drill them. I'll have to drill them and see how well they line up. Then I'll put some bolts through these. May have to bring the reamer out here and ream some of these holes. That hole there won't be used. It's too far out. I ended up going back here to this one, and this hole's on the other side. So we'll see what we got here. Yeah, the bottom holes line up, and the outside holes line up too. I'm probably going to end up having to run a reamer through these holes. I'll correct anything I can in the CAD drawings for the production version, but I'm assuming the customer that gets this, when you go try to put bolts in, they may have to run a reamer through their holes too. But 1/2 inch reamer is not a big deal. Those are easy to find on Amazon. So let me grab some bolts and a little zip gun and put this together and see how it goes. Okay guys, got me some bolts here. These are just regular grade 5 bolts from Tractor Supply. Hell, you could bolt one of these up with this. You'd never break. You'd never shear grade 5 bolts. There's so many in there, but I know most people would rather just go with grade 8 for the peace of mind. Anyways, and this is what I call a zip gun. It's just a 1/4 inch drive, Milwaukee impact. I call it a zip gun because it zips stuff on and off. Let me get some bolts to this thing, and then we'll see what it looks like. I've got one bolt in the bottom. There's only 2 holes in the bottom. This hole here I'm gonna have to ream just a little bit, but now this hole is gonna have to be moved. That looks like probably 3/16. That one there is probably gonna have to go 3/16 over and 3/16 up. That one there is gonna have to go 1/8 of an inch over. Listen, 3/16 over should be good with that. So what I'm gonna have to do is, I grab my notepad. I'm gonna have to make notes of these changes. I'm gonna have to get under this and look at that one and see where it's got to move. I'm gonna leave that hole where it's at on the CAD drawing to line it up. Before I do that though, I'll pull this out and stick it in the front hole and see how much closer these line up before I do it. Either way, I'll have to, I'm gonna have to make some changes when I do this CAD, but I've also got to make notes so I know what I'm doing. Yeah, the top holes, they got to move too. Bottom holes look pretty good. All right, so the top hole's got to move a little bit, and the bottom hole and the side hole's got to move a little bit. It's probably better to move the bottom holes. So I think I'll take this box back out real quick. I'll drill these holes out, then I'll see what lines up the best before I go making any reaming or making any notes on what changes in the CAD drawing. But whatever I do, I got to make sure we do it on both sides. So we're at about 12 minutes, so that's going to end the first video for today. Peace.